Hello viewers, yes, this is Ranjana ma'am and you are watching, yes, it's yours as well as my channel. So many of you have requested me, ma'am please a video on Precis writing. I have found the same problem faced by many of my students, my online students as well as offline students. They also seem to be quite puzzled. This Precis, what is it? So I keep telling them there is nothing to be afraid. There is nothing to be worried about Precis writing. It's very simple. So I have decided to upload a video on Precis writing for all my YouTube subscribers also. But before I begin, you know what's coming. If you have not subscribed to my channel up till now, please do. And don't forget to press the like button after you have seen this video. So, what are we waiting for? Let's start. Of it, you are to answer certain questions. So they are short questions, 2 marks. And this Precis, here also they ask you to write something from the passage, but here the word limit is restricted. Earlier it was 60 and now for my ICSE students it's 50. Whereas the same question for my ISC student, the word limit is 100. So just see the contrast. Here in ICC you are struggling to keep to the word limit. You have to see that you don't exceed not more than 50. And in ISC you are biting your pen what to write. In ICSE you are thinking what to eliminate so that it fits in that 50 word. And in ISC, my God, what to write, what more to write to make it 100. So as Nerissa said in Merchant of Venice, too much of everything is bad. Both the extremes are bad. When you are given too less to write also, you find what to eliminate, and when you get too much, you feel what to write. Okay, so let's forget that. I would also say that Precis is the opposite of essay writing. In essay writing, you are given a topic and then you have to expand. You have to expand the idea. And within 300 to 350, you are supposed to present your idea. And here what you are supposed to do, you are given a passage. From that passage, a particular question you are given and you are told to write your answer within that restricted word limit, 50 words, and not one word more. Some schools they are saying you can write 51 to 52. No, but not more than 50 word means not more. So in this, what have you to do? How do you start? First you try to think in your mind which are the paragraphs that are required for your Precis or for this question. Suppose like you are given a passage from Tom Sawyer. Many of you have read it. So Tom Sawyer is whitewashing the fence. So he is given a punishment to whitewash a fence on a Saturday, which is a holiday. So what happens? Tom uses his brains and he makes his friends do the job and they do it happily, and in return for it, rather they bribe him to get a turn to whitewash. So you might be given the question in not more than 50 words, write how Tom got the fence whitewashed. So then in 50 words you will have to think of the important points. So Tom found one of his friend passing by and how he tried to make the job lucrative and then each of his friends, they wanted a turn, and in return for this whitewashing, what gifts they gave him. And at the end of the day, the fence had 3 coats of whitewashing, and still there were many who wanted to whitewash the fence. So this part is important. How did he get it done? So you don't have to write that he was given a punishment and he was trying to persuade the servant boy into doing it, but he did not agree and all that. Nothing. You have to start exactly from where Tom gets an idea how to get the job done or how to get the fence whitewashed by someone else while he sits and enjoys. So only that part. So whichever passage it is, you will have to first select which are the paragraphs that need to be read and reread in order to form your answer. Then go step by step. Don't take a line here and a line there. Another thing which is very important in your Precis writing is that the words have to be your own. You just cannot pick up and write. It's not quotation. Your own words. So that means you have to frame in your mind the answer and then you start writing. And what if you exceed the word limit? That is why you need to make a rough draft. Rough draft, yes, you will be making a grid. 50 words, so 5 words in a line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words in a line and 10 lines. So make a grid. You can use the pencil and the ruler and make a grid. 50 words, 5 words in one line and go for the 10. So you will write in this your answer. When you finish writing, you might be wanting some more words to write. Some blanks are still left to make it a perfect 50. So you can add up a few 1 or 2 words which are relevant to your answer. While writing, once you finish, you might find that 1 or 2 more words you have written, exceeded the word limit of 50. So then you'll again read and go for some eliminations. Okay, and in this way you will write your Precis of 50 words in the rough draft. So in many schools they suggest that you can write your rough draft in pencil. Quite a good idea. Why? Because when you write in pencil, you can erase those words and put a substitute. You can erase 3 words and instead put 1 word. So in that way you can manage the 50 words. So 1 word for a full sentence, like a person who treats a patient. So many words. Instead of that you write a doctor. So this correction work will have to be done in your rough draft. So if your school suggests write in pencil, it's quite a good idea. Write in pencil, because then you just need to erase. But when you write in pen, the cutting it and all that, sometimes it looks a bit untidy. Some of you might do it very artistically, just a small a side line, a hyphen sort in that way, and then write very neatly on top of it. Or you cut 2 words and instead write 1 word. So if you are an artistic person, you can do it very nicely. Otherwise, but don't cut boldly and then start writing. It makes your, even if it is a rough draft, try to make it presentable. And don't think just because without any cuts I have finished it, completed my answer in these 50 words, so why should I go for a fair draft? No, you have to make a rough draft in that grid form, and after that you will have to also write or make a fair draft. And in the fair draft you have an option. You can again write your fair draft in the grid pattern, or you can write it in a paragraph, but write the paragraph in such a way that the examiner can see that you have written it in 50 words. So how do you do that? You will write exactly 5 words in a line. Yes, you haven't drawn the line, but you will write exactly first line, you will write 5 words, and the 6th word will come just under the first word, 7th word under the second word. So in a column form write your answer. So in this case, without making a grid also, you will be writing your Prezi in 50 words, and the examiner will know that yes, make things easy for him. And at the end, you will in brackets write 50 words. That means yes, you have completed your Prezi in the 50 words. And one thing, don't pronounce it Precis. Precis. No S. Prezi or Prezi. In different pronunciations, but the S is silent. You can pronounce it this way, P-R-A-Y, Prezi, S-E-E, okay, or Prezi, but the S is silent. Acha. So what more? So this is the basic. You have to prepare a rough draft. You do all the cuttings and adding and the elimination, contraction, whatever you do, you are doing it there. And then in the final draft, or which we call the fair draft, there should be no cut. So decide first which are the things you have to write, and then write. It should be clean and neat. That is why it is called the fair draft. And fair draft, I told you again, you can write it again in the grid pattern, or you might write it in the paragraph, but paragraph should be written in such a way that the examiner gets to know that yes, it's 50 words. And after that, you give a title to your Prezi. Earlier I told you, na, title or heading. Earlier what happened, 2 marks was allotted for this, and that made the 10 marks. So 8 for your Prezi, rough and fair included. So rough draft, there it also carries marks. Okay, so rough draft carries marks. So please write, please do. Some of you, I have heard my students say, ma'am, I have completed it in 1 draft only. No cuts, nothing. So should I go for the fair draft? Yes, you have to, because rough draft carries marks. So this is your Prezi. But what are the things you need to pay attention to, the points in writing the Prezi? So first you read the question very attentively and get the idea what you are really asked to do in not more than 50 words of your own, blah 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 blah. So see that what you are expected, because this is also a question only, and what you are going to write is an answer to that question. Many times you are told, describe this, describe what you read, describe how Portia fought the trial scene. So it is like that. It is, you are describing or you are writing. It's an answer. So there is nothing to be afraid of, Prezi. So you pay attention to the question. Try to get the idea what they are asking you to do, and then go through the passage or that particular place which is required. Those 3, maybe 3 to 4 paragraphs that is required in order to frame your Prezi. Okay, so go through it twice, thrice, and then you can in pencil mark the relevant points. They have asked me, so this is the point number 1, point number 2, point number 3, point number 4. In this way you can mark the points. Do it in pencil, whatever you are doing. So this is the place, yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe. Yeah, 4 points needed, or maybe 5 points needed to frame your answer. As much as is needed. There is nothing like 5, it has to have 5 points or 6 points. Depends. It might be in 1 point also, you might be required to write the whole 50 words. But you will underline, these are the important places and these are the ones I require. These are the lines I require to frame my answer. And then after you have written the rough draft, go through it very carefully and see whether you have included all the points in it. Don't miss any point. That is why is your rough draft. You have to see whether you have included all the points or not. So I told you first that you make points 1 to 5, 1 to 3 or whatever these are needed, and the other parts of the passage not needed, the previous part not needed. You have chucked out that part which is required for your Prezi, and then you write it. Once you write it in your rough draft, go through it again and see if you have missed any point. So you can do the correction, elimination and all that in that rough draft. And then don't give any personal comment of your own, don't give any personal comment of your own. No one is asking for your comment, they are asking what is in the passage. So your answer should strictly stay to the passage, whatever is said in the passage. And then since it has to be your own language, you will write it in the reported speech, no direct speech. You will write it in the reported speech in the past tense. Okay, not in the present, not in the future. You will write it in the past tense. And yes, I told you, both the drafts should have your own words. You cannot just take the lines and put it here. From here to here is the answer, so I pick up the lines and put it here, nothing doing. You don't get anything, you get a big zero. They are asking you not to quote. They are asking your answer. So write your own, and then once you have checked, I said, then write your final draft. And I told you, be very careful that there is nothing of rectifying or error correction in your fair draft or final draft. And then I told you, write a suitable title or heading for it. So these are the things you require to write a Prezi. But one thing I need to tell you, that Prezi needs practice. Prezi needs practice. Just what ma'am has said, I'll keep it in mind and go and start only writing in the exam hall, will not help you. So try to solve those test papers, whether it is total English or whatever, different workbooks you all have for your language. So solve a Prezi, because it's like essay writing. Essay writing also, you know, when you don't practice writing essays, you have the you get stagnated, you have the writer's block, no? So you have the student's block, your mind is blocked, the thoughts don't flow spontaneously. Same in Prezi. You will be sitting there chewing the pen and thinking which point is important, what to write, what to eliminate. But if you practice at home, you know very fast you will start, oh, these are the points I have to write, these are the ones I have to eliminate. That will come when you practice it at home. So please practice your Prezi. It is difficult if you don't practice, and if you practice, everything is easy. So I'm sure after watching this video you will start practicing Prezi. Don't go for a Prezi every day. Maybe in a fortnight go for one, or in a month go for one. No, in a month would be too scarce. In a fortnight go for one. I'm not saying weekly. Or once you have your grammar class every week, you can do that also. Every week, okay, every week one. And when you get accustomed, when the flow starts coming, oh, Prezi is not a problem anymore, then you can stop it. Then you can do once in a week, once in a blue moon, once in a month. When you get a grasp on your Prezi, then you can reduce the numbers. But first, at least go for once a week. After your grammar class, think, oh yes, Prezi is that problem maker, so let me practice one Prezi. Okay, and then once, as I told you, once you get hold of it, you catch it on the hip, and then reduce the numbers once in a month, just to keep in track, just to remember the rules. So I think this will be of some help, and yes, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and press the like button. Yes, I'm heading towards my 100k and I need your support. You've been supporting me constantly and I still need it, please. So bye for the time being, and we'll soon come up with some more useful videos on how to frame your answers, or rather how to write good English. Some nice phrases which you can add in your essays, you can add in your spoken English when you are talking. Because one thing, many of you, or rather all of you, are English medium students, but many times I have found you all can write well but you can't speak. You get tongue tied. Why? So I'll be coming up with some topics rather on spoken English, how to speak well, because you will be soon needing it. After 10, okay, 12, 11 and 12 you don't need that much, but after 12 spoken English will be required a lot. Okay, so bye for the time being and wait for my next videos.